You act like, oh, because I have my genitalia, since I have this private part, I'm the prize. No, the prize is who's ever in demand, and women are not in demand anymore.
What's good, people? Welcome back. I'm your host, Black Boy Wonder, and today I've been sent a video that I've never seen before, so I'm doing a live reaction to it. I heard it was good, so let's get into it.
I have a very important question that we should all ask ourselves. That question is, why should a man want a woman in 2026? Why should a man that is single, that is already living his life, possibly disrupt his life by taking on a woman? The reason I ask this question is because I think that a lot of us women have a very outdated mindset. Women are not what they used to be. The image of a woman has been tainted by ourselves. We have totally destroyed our image. Anything positive that used to come to mind when you thought of a woman, we have dismantled. And we don't piece together the fact that dismantling our image comes with consequences. So again, I ask you to ask yourself, why should a man want a woman in 2026?
I mean, that's a good question. I think a lot of men are asking themselves that more and more as time passes by. What is it that a woman is actually going to bring to me other than a BBL, her attractive, her sexual appeal, and a headache?
We get on the internet and we sit up and we bash men all day long. All day long, all we do is talk crap about what a man isn't doing and what a man is doing that we don't like, how we don't want to live with a man, how men are acting like females, how men aren't doing enough, men aren't giving enough, what they do isn't good enough, how they behave isn't good enough, they don't look good enough, they don't have enough money. We are just going on and on and on, talking crap about men all day long. That's point one. Point two, we have totally taken the mystery away out of being a woman. Back in the day, women didn't discuss certain things. Certain things were kept between the girls. Now we've gotten online acting like the men don't process and see the same internet we do. We traded in a quick buck for our secrecy, for our mystery. You can get online and you can see how women do their hair. You can see how women do their makeup. You can see how women get cheap clothes off of Shein or wherever they get them from. We got our hygiene tips on there. We've got dating tips. We talk about what we do and don't do on the first date. We talk about all these things, just sharing every single thing about ourselves.
I agree with what she's saying. It seems like now nothing is private. It seems like anything is content. And it seems like also with feminism and the sexual revolution, no bars are held. We're just out here trying to make money. As women, this is their thought when they say they don't need a man, because they're using all of their experience, they're using all of their personal information to share with the internet and the world of internet just to make a dollar and make success. There is nothing private anymore, especially with these type of women.
We tell stories about our stupidity and dumb things we do. We talk about how we have no standards, and you may not think that that's what you're talking about. But when you're telling these stories about dumb stuff that you did, or certain stories about situations that you've been in, what you're saying is, I don't have standards. And most women don't have standards anyways, but that's a whole separate video coming very soon. So we get on the internet, we crap on our men, we share all of our secrets about ourselves to where they're no longer secrets anymore. What would make a man want us? Then to top it all of that off, there's all this free corn everywhere. And even if you're a man where you want the real thing, there's women on here sharing basically that they'll do anything for some dinner. There's women out here that are sleeping with men for dinner. There's one of us sleeping for men with just the smallest thing. So we're giving out all the tips, all the secrets, telling all the things about ourselves. So there's no secrecy anymore. There's no anything anymore. What is the selling point for us? What do we bring? And you get mad when someone says, what do you bring to the table? Because we're asking men to bring so much. We want men to do it all. We want men to still be the men of yesteryear while us not being the women of yesteryear.
It seems like what she's saying is facts, but it seems like we live in a time that is no longer traditional values being valued, quote unquote, by men and women together the way it used to be. The women of today are more modern than they've ever been. They seem to believe that they don't need to have domesticated skills. They don't need to want to desire to be a wife, a mother. They don't need to do anything that is going to make the family thrive, but just rather give their nash, give their backside, give their sex appeal in trade for everything a man has to traditionally offer. It doesn't equate. It doesn't make sense.
We don't want to cook. We don't want to clean. We don't want to provide and cater to a man's needs. We don't want to do anything but receive everything. And we want to talk down to our men. We want to mistreat our men, but it still expect them to be gentlemen and decency. And it's so funny to me how women are always online talking about how men are acting like females. And you're saying it in a derogatory way, which means you are self-admitting that you know that the image of a woman is a negative thing. If you're saying that men are acting like this and it's a bad thing, that means that you're behaving badly and you know it, and you're not calling it out. You're not changing yourself. So again, in these hard economic times, in these hard political times, in these hard, difficult, challenging spiritual times, you think that it's a good idea for a man to take on a woman? These same women who are getting online expressing how ungrateful they are, taking men's children away, putting men on child support, taking half of their stuff when they get divorced, just causing chaos in their life, causing drama. On top of that, you have to compete with this corn. And I don't blame people. I don't blame anyone. You act like, oh, because I have my genitalia, since I have this private part, I'm the prize. No, the prize is who's ever in demand. And women are not in demand anymore.
She's got a point there. Women are no longer in demand. The market is saturated with box. And the truth is, when you have a woman that doesn't bring anything feminine to the table, then everything she brings is masculine, What are you actually bringing to a masculine man? She's absolutely right. The sister code have absolutely destroyed what it means to be a woman, and they're having these echo chambers where they're constantly online bashing and abusing men for being masculine and requiring the same things that a woman should bring, but they require the same things a man has always brought to the table.
There's way too many of us. We've gotten online and made it clear that we're way too easy. We're way too promiscuous. We do anything strange for a little bit of change. There's literally no incentive anymore. What is the point? I would not advise any man unless you just want that. I'm not surprised if you don't want a woman. Who would? Who would? What women are out here that are worth wanting when there's all these risks? It's all risk and little to no reward. And we get on the internet and we make it, we display it every single day. When you're taking on a woman, all you're doing is taking on challenges. And the main reason to still want a woman, which is to have children. Half of y'all have gotten online and made it clear that y'all don't even want to be mothers anymore. Y'all don't want to have children. So what is the point? What is the point? What is the incentive?
What's crazy to me is she's right. Everything she's saying, I totally agree. But the thing that I've noticed is that we have a lot of women that are talking like this, but it's not necessarily bringing down the single motherhood rate. Now, I do understand birth rates are declining, marriage rates are declining also, but it doesn't seem like these females have a problem finding a man to give them a baby out of wedlock and then using that baby to weaponize and capitalize to make money.
Why are we acting like we don't understand? Why are we walking around still thinking that we're the prize, thinking that someone should want us when we're not giving anything worth wanting? What are you worth that's worth wanting? What about you is worth the risk that you come with? When you're letting all these women online represent womanhood in such a nasty way every single day, and you're in the comments condoning it, instigating it, egging it on. Yes, girl. Yes, queen. Waving your fingers, praising this behavior, and you're surprised when these men don't want you besides to sleep with you. And the funny thing is, a lot of them don't even care about that anymore. Why? Because it is much more easy and enjoyable to be in your own home, please yourself if that's what you're into, and roll over than have to deal with all of the problems and issues and drama that comes with women in 2026. So please ask yourself this question before you go to yourself and have a pity party. I need a man. Where's the men? Men aren't the same anymore. Ask yourself, are you the same as a woman? Are you worth it? I strongly doubt it. We as a whole are diminishing our value every single day, and it's over. It's a wrap. There's no undoing it. This is what you all have decided. This is what we have decided as a whole. Live with it, deal with it, and ultimately deal with the consequences. Evolve. You've made it this way, so it's time to evolve. I love y'all. Talk to you soon.
Everything she said was absolutely on the money. You know, this is where women are at today. A lot of women, the younger women, don't know how to get a man, and they desire a man. According to Pew Research Center, majority of women want a husband, marriage, family, children. They want these traditional things. But I think that as they age and they realize that, you know, you got the sisterhood looming over you, telling you that, you know, you deserve better, you don't have to settle. And then it gets harder for them because they're also sexually involved with men, and that takes their value down because the more bodies that a woman gets, the less likely she's going to have a successful marriage. So this means that men are perceiving her value, her promiscuity, and they're just like, I'm not looking to make that a wife. So they age out and they get 40, 30, 40, 50, and they just get real bitter because they gave their time away to the men that saw their value for what it was and didn't commit to them. And then they just start the cycle all over again by teaching the younger women, hey, you don't need to settle. You don't need to be with a man that doesn't view you a certain way just because you are degenerate. That's where we're at today. If this is evolution, then I think that we are doomed as a people. But if they can find their way back to the old way, then that would make things go back to the old way. But I don't see that happening. I don't see what could possibly make that happen other than some natural disaster. But the road that we're on now, women have spoken, women have chosen, and we're seeing it all over the dating world that men are reciprocating that energy. Men are walking away from dates, men are walking away from hooking up, men are actually more focused on themselves now than I think they've ever been. So it's only made the whole dating scene a lot worse. I thought this was a interesting video. This was a good one. So I appreciate you, the person who sent that to me. Thank you. And make sure you click the like, comment, let me know your thoughts on this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.